whatever it is, wherever you are. Oh, let's see. All right, so I know I thought of some things that I had added a field to my location slips, and then I think I may have added some types of location slips that would not have updated that field. So in current version, add location slips. So we had temporary expire ETA, temp home location, temp location slip, distance, add search location slip. Yeah, so this must have been for object search, so you don't have a thing to set that. As long as it's going to be close, the distance doesn't matter. And that's steps. That's probably the only type. I can check with player search as well. I guess that would really be like an STG show. Living name match. It affects our drawing somewhat, but it's not. Yeah, okay. STG, go to. Let's see. Let's see, I forget. I mean, 0 should be, well, if it's an expire ETA. Yeah, so that's if it actually expires. Set expiration. If it's temporary, okay, for something that then sets its expiration, we just removed, I think we just removed it. Add location slip defaults to 0. I may have to check that with respect to home markers. That's until we drop the map. Okay, so that updates it, that sets that. I don't think this ever wants to have this. So that basically sets it expires now. I guess we'd also say 1 because that 1 is not 0. And it's still going to be like it's going to be before the current time. And actually, the search was the thing that broke. I still don't have any theories about why this broke. It was just like way too many location slips or something. But I did look at the dynamic array, so it's not like we went over the size of it. Unless we still managed to, like, over-index somehow. Remove at location. We should still have the expire thing going on. But I don't know what we could have possibly done that broke the search. Actually, was it just this? I don't know if I ever checked if it would find things on screen and just not give me the pointers, or if search had broken completely. And unfortunately, I overwrote the log file and had to restart, try and fix that. I didn't think to grab the log file first. For the actual inheritance bit, location slips, and I wasn't never sure if there was a good way to do this anytime but location slips, because location slips are already like intercepting some messages, so I just made them intercept more messages. So I think to try and test the inheritance stuff, we're gonna have to get a whole bunch of people in and a whole bunch of gates owned by different people. But one of the things in particular I think I need to look at is, well, shoot, where does the inheritance happen? It's from the... It's not owner. That's a message you send. Well, I guess it is. Owner request pause. Oh, outstanding owner requests. M owner info. World pause equals X. So there's the XY of this. If it's not found, make a new one. Go through the owners. And we said if owner ID is our ID, we add a property location slip. Special case for self, responsible player, photo triggered, local player triggered, got a player update for self. Is this ever not equal to us? First server message received, RID equals our object. Recently inserted game object index. Seems like that should be right. Huh. I think the variable shadowing here works. But that, no, get relation name was the original one. Get relation distance was mine, which copied Jason's. And I think the shadowing actually works here. Also some grave. Well, no, it's not. It's not graves. Actually, that is that. So this seems like it should be fine. The really awkward thing is I need to get a bunch of people in, and I'd like to be able to observe it from all of their positions. Right now it overwrites the log. And I'm assuming this is a minor gems thing that picks which file it outputs to. Yeah, this is going to be a really bad search. I just killed the window. So game source. Oh. Hmm. This is probably like startup before we log in. Oh no, this is read standout.txt to send in the bug report. So that probably means it's minor gems. Or is it something even lower? I mean, I guess there are some other code bits here. There's game source, there's common source. But that doesn't really seem to be appropriate. Where does it determine that text? This probably has. No, this is just printf. This is like a compiler configuration. Standout goes to file. There's game source. Not in common. Maybe it's a compiler configuration thing? To output to a file. Output goes to terminal, output. Okay, so that redirects there. Oh, so that's stand error. fopen on standout, but that still has to specify the file name. the lecturer. Desired file path. But once again, it has to specify the file path somewhere. Which I guess does leave us with a deal with it and wait for that to complete. We could also search for if we're doing anything to stand out as a file handle. Net pipe receiver. Flush standout. That seems like that's all port audio stuff. I mean, unless he like did it as part of port audio and then it just kind of affected the entire application. Thread safe printer. Just doing a lock around standout. Yeah, email if it exists. That's opening it for reading. Maybe it's a feature of SDL that redirects it. Maybe it's a feature of MinGW. That flush per line. Maybe it is an SDL thing. SDL2. Did that outputting into files, however, most information. NRANY Dash. Welcome back. Compiling without M Windows. Since SDL2 is at the time, this is 13. Okay, so outputting to file is in fact a SDL2 thing. It's probably SDL2. Can't disable them normally. You have to edit the SDL code. No SDO. Redirecting the output to somewhere else. Or was the time this was written? Yep. This is going to be an SDL2 wiki. Not return any results. Well, this probably has other consequences. Hmm. Right, so that would only leave us with the option to actually copy the directories, which are for every instance, which would be large directories. And I have to update the program all the time. So I think the real problem is that I don't know if the standout that I get is going to be like the last one, the first one. So big directories. Hmm. Oh, reverb cache must be a thing that actually gets built. Sprites have lots of data. Grand title cache. Sounds, graphics. The programs are actually large. Now, this is by size. Like transitions is, I think, is one of the main sticking points, but it's just the sheer number of files. Like transitions and objects. I wonder how much trouble it would be to set up a linking system, or how that would work if I like set it up once and then copied it. Let's see. And we also have to look up how to do it in Windows. Your app won't know any better. Most situations. Yeah, I'm not sure that soft links are going to work here. Following or not? I guess it's root directories. And we can't link across drives. D to D, C to C, C to C. Oh, so there's hard links and there's junctions. Oh, junction is also called a soft link. Following or not. Okay, so to a network drive, I don't get why this one is an issue. dir A1 linked to dir B2. C dir A linked to C dir B. Does that be somewhere descendant from the spot? It almost sounds like we need to be this. This is, it looks more like programming level. Create hard link pointing to a file. Well, choose the directories. Soft symbolic, hard link pointing to file, junction pointing to directory. All right, so I'm thinking one copy to work in, which is going to be painful. Oh, and did junctions work if I wanted to link the program? All right, so file size isn't as much. I probably should have paid more attention to what the copying costs were there. Of course, I guess that was still somewhat practical. Did I just completely close that? I've got some idea what it is. So animations, categories aren't that big. Faces isn't that big. I think the ground tile cache was kind of big. Objects, reverb cache. What does it open in? Okay, now. Can we even do relative addressing here? Now, see, that's an absolute path. to an absolute path. Link to source target. Actually, I'm not sure how this is going to work with the shell translation. Yeah, not even found. I don't have... Well, I know I can do that. Link target. Just picked one. Okay, so we did what? Graphics. Ground tile cache was kind of big. Objects. Reverb cache was pretty big. Of course, I guess if this is... The question is now, if I copy this, will it just see it as an ordinary directory and copy the files anyway? Sprites. Transitions. So I guess that's the first question. I think I want to do something with the... Okay, so that did appear to do a smart copy. One more. And I probably have to remove this. We'll see if it complains. Yep, already exists. Oh. It's not a directory. Okay, so junctions are only for directories. Type hard link. All right, so we can copy that relatively fast. I don't know exactly how many I'm going to need. It might depend a little bit on combinations of eaves versus not eaves and... Now I tend to do twos for the names. I guess having a letter prefix is gonna be about the same. And I'm gonna have the problem of launching all of these. Now I guess I didn't launch all the way into the program to make sure I had everything. I just saw that it ran. Okay, so that will be main one. I think I had some fence stuff set up here earlier. Somewhere. So that was map pointer stuff. But I don't remember where. So what did we need? Let's see, I need, I mean, to start with, I can do, I think it's Shaky Gate, and, oh. Was there already a timeout there? I guess there's something else that there was something that had timed out there. I also need a stone. Oh, there's gonna be a lot of stones, aren't there? There we go. Oh, I did use an owned tile from before. Wait, so the server stores that somewhere? Or is that just an owned thing and I got it like one step too early? Because I'd swear I was able to... Okay, so this is an already owned state. So it's going to have to be proposed. Although maybe it's already determined that this tile is owned now. Oh, no, this is, it'd be approved. That's what I was doing. Okay, well, we can just leave the other one there then. Okay, owned by you. Interesting. Yeah, so I seem to have missed some folder. Yeah, it looks like... Oh, did I delete animations? That looks like it'd be in animations. Yeah. I don't know if... Is animations that big? Yeah, because it's kind of big. All right, now can I copy that as a junction? Yeah, now you see, this is weird. Okay, so copying these doesn't work. It just gave me an empty directory. So I would need to reduce that to a script that could run in every single folder. Hmm. Okay, so that is terminal. That doesn't give me a directory. I've build. All right, so I've already done B. Unfortunately, now we have got empty directories in all of these things. So animations, yeah, graphics, objects, reverb cache, sprites, transitions. I guess I should set it up to remove these things just before we do it. So we've got and maybe I could actually go back and of course now we've got to figure out how we do that. Remove item. Okay, so path is an option. Dot path. So we've got well, I actually removed it all. All things that are links here. Wait. How did graphics work? Is it using a derived version of graphics? Objects. Let's see, reverb cache, sprites and transitions. I guess that would be sprites, but once again, how did sprites work? Maybe it kind of worked? And it's just the Explorer that's confused? Object not found. Oh, because I already removed everything here. What's your comment character? Oh, item not found. Oh, okay, so first of all, we completely missed a thing here. That shouldn't have given us that error, though. Okay, I could try going back to the things that actually worked and just copying them in. Run script, run selection. Because it does not exist. I contend that it does exist. Oh. Apparently we never hit return. Alright, and the rest of these, oops, should actually have something here. Alright, CD, one life, 3D. Ooh, path not found. Oh, right, because they didn't have animations. And that was the whole thing. Alright, we did B, was our first one, C. Owned by nameless person, right, because you're a nameless person. And alright, so we've got animations and stuff. Alright. I probably should have names. To make it easier to track stuff. That means you're probably, yeah. Wait, so that's D, C. I probably didn't do that one. However, this is more of an execute line now. Okay, so it's always that doesn't advance. I'm going to have to go back to... CD... I guess I could select both lines. And it's a run selection. Alright, C, D. Are we already in E? Okay, I guess we already did that. I don't know why it's access denied now. Or maybe... B would have been fine. Maybe... No, I hadn't started it yet. Alright, so C. And we'll have to hope these actually update as we try debugging stuff here. Alright, so we've got... Yeah, so that was 3. Okay, in your different family, having some unrelated people might actually be useful. Where did they end up? Just in terms of kind of what messages we get. Okay. Now, we have a gate owned by Eve O'Neill. Let's see. I'm gonna need something more convenient for this. Let's see, so... An open gate probably worked fine. What's the difference between these? There's so much stuff I can't tell. Apparently not triggering the auto code here. Or the resistance code. Maybe the other one is like the initial thing that breaks gates. Actually, let's make sure that's what we want first. Yep. I guess I probably should. Well, I am trying to kill this character. First, I guess what I almost need now is multiple wolves. Okay, so this one's log won't necessarily have the ownership change. Although I might have the leftover ownership changes from it. I think you might get those at the very end. I'm not sure. You've inherited her position. All right, now what is our mod telling me here? And that's the thing. Other thing that's frustrating about this is the inheritance doesn't actually work. I guess because it's low pop. Or maybe it was still a shaky gate. Well, unfortunately, that's the only VOG account I've got right now. Alright, so who are you? Nope, not that. So this is a... Oh, it already went proposed. And then you go back. Is that not you? Oh, I can't do anything. Okay. We're in VOG, but not in inventory mode. So we want a property gate. No. Okay. Not something designed for regular use, so it's not really clean. Okay, so now it is fully owned. How do I get here? I guess these don't necessarily need to be gates, but... Okay. Alright, so now you are the current fence owner. So, did that leave us with the fence? No! I guess it's a low pop thing? Monument pause inherited. Remove all ownership. Well... Does that do inheritance? No other owners and in process inherit, which is a pet flag to this function. False. Have a new leader. Before remove all ownership happens externally, which passes property to children. Pass leader inherit own stuff to the new leader now. What's the default value of the flag? It defaults to true. This is quit cleanup, which is false. Okay. Move all ownership. This is probably the one that happens normally. Yeah, so it's just those two. Okay, so this would be true. We're not passing a flag. So this should be determining whether that happens or not. No other owners. And in process inherit, find closest relative. Last owner just died. So this should be no other owners false, because we gave another owner. In player-owned positions. Does our server have anything to say about this? Moving all ownership for player 23. For players remaining on server. On error? Player killed by permanent object. Oh, the error marked socket right failed. What does this have to do with those connection error things? Removing all ownership, one own for player 23. Was there any indication? Removing all ownership for not really saying whether it is doing inherited property stuff, which we kind of saw it didn't do inherited property stuff. So there's not actually an inheritance hand happening here, and I don't know why. Maybe, is it possible that it's natural versus unnatural death? There's only one remove ownership. It's leader inherits stuff. Regular gates aren't leader inherit. If leader inherit is the only time, recently moved owners, then we're giving it to the new leader. Maybe it's not remove all ownership in that case, though. Recently removed owner pause. In leader owned positions, but where do we trigger the collapse? Is that in here? Uh-oh, somebody's hungry. Actually, you're a VOD player, so... Still hungry. So it's proposed again. Or does it have to age up normally to get properly registered? Is it like a shaky owned position until then or something? I didn't see anything in the code about that though. Oh, is it temp owned? Target object temp owned. There's not like temp owned positions, I don't think. Owned positions. And phrases that assign them ownership. Well, is this like other? Maybe there's a different piece of code that actually does this. Closest spot this player owns. This sounds like, yeah, this sounds like giving ownership. New owned player. That's giving an ownership. I mean, it is kind of a giving ownership. Just created an owned object here. And it goes into owned positions. Not considering temp. This player has heard about. Is owned. Remove all ownership. Moving all ownership. We do have a new leader. But that's not a leadership inherit gate. Oh, that's assigning ownership. Well, let's shaky property gate. This is where it would be convenient to actually change the object data, but I'm not set up to do that easily. So I could like rapidly transition through these things. But I think the only thing here is that this object has the temp owned property. So we would consider that at certain times. Is temp owned. Attempting a transition that leads to a non-owned object, let it through because ownership of the target is object on shaky flooring. Yeah, so it lets you take it down. Well, wouldn't use is access blocked, would it? Attempting a well, maybe. If it applies the grave transition to take it down. No other owners. Send message. Ah. But that happens through end ownership. An oh. There's also orphaned own objects. Death markers get element. Trans record, get the trans with that. That assumes that, so this is last owner. Which shouldn't happen because it should get passed down to a child. Unless there's something special about Eve's. Orphaned own objects. Is owned. Still shaky. These people should all see it as O'Neill. And the object ID there is to help us do that. So it's almost like I have to debug the server before I can debug ownership passing. Well, I haven't actually looked at my logs yet. Owned by nobody. Owned by 23. So 1, 2 owned by 23. 1, 2. This is from my birth. Owned by 27. (13 - 2) owned by nobody. Are we just cycling? Yeah. RID, our first player update RID equals 22. RID equals 27. So that one was an R owned. I think, is this player here? Yeah. So that did, well, this was us taking owner. Okay, so now this is a full, not shaky gate. So you're both dead right now. I should probably get some of these people back in. Oop. Oh, that was the quit button. Oops. Just so we've got people aging up for future use. And that was 2. Okay, 3. And it fell again. I wonder if I have to actually, like, open and close it a few times. And that's a shaky gate, so, well. So what we're going to be seeing is no one owns that, actually. But I had a child. Which you'd think would mean they would inherit it. We need to review the rules about what actually constitutes, You now follow your lady Fitma. It's 4 acre. Wait. Oh no, this is the baby. Proposed property gate owned by no one. What the heck? Well, that means that you should have... You were 5? Well, I wasn't watching your messages. It's just not even passing it on. I didn't have any message that I owned the location. All right, who are you? You'll be 3. No other owners. They inherit from this death. All right, so who's heir? Oh, maybe this has a population switch. Find fit. Oh, because there's no fitness server. Fittest offspring is null. This should probably be maybe a greater than or equal to. So, either I need a fitness server, or I'm going to have to hack the program to fix the bug, if I want to debug inheritance. Let's see. None of these people would have accounts at the actual fitness server, so we can't, even if it was possible, I couldn't just use the real thing. I guess that would give them fitness 0. But yeah, if it was all new players. And it always works this way, correct? This is not a game switch. So to fix that, I would have to do a build. From source without doing a fetch. Is this build server? Nope. Why can't you give me these files instead of source? I don't know. Fetch latest tagged. Okay, minor gems. We can do master, we could do whatever, we cannot do nothing. CD minor gems. CD1 life, CD1 life data. The reset hard was specifically to get rid of anything that we were doing. And it's going to be a little bit weird because it's going to be not as represented by Git here. Limit our scope a little bit. Find heir, find fittest offspring. So the fitness score, I actually think is like negative 9999999. Other player ID, skip ID, all players. And you see it does the fitness check before it does the lineage check. I guess we can still set it up to pass here. Or we just haven't picked anybody yet. I guess you could say fittest offspring fitness is equal to 0, be the same thing. Let's just file a directory. All right. So builds actually work a little bit faster from without the Linux indirection. That's interesting. It usually responds a lot faster. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's the other, it's like minor gems and stuff that's changing branches. And then think this gives us better terminal behavior. All right, so the first thing is just a quick test of can we do inheritance? Completely decayed. Let's see. So we have to do proposed for it to mark an owned object. Fine, whatever. It can be here. Oh, nope. I need a shaky. And how do I get focus back to here? This could be something I messed up with my keyboard stuff. Are you not Vogue? I just made something. Well, that is proposed property. Again, I need shaky. Not shaky. Approved. Munglo! How's it going? What are you working on today? All right, so I think that will actually be able to inherit, even though it's still shaky. Assuming we fix the bug. Okay, inherited our position, but this still fell, which means we haven't fixed the bug. Actually made the code. Ooh, nice. Which means actually you're. Oh, I probably should have had more kids first. Oh well. And they're going to be a different Eve. Oh, you picked up my name. Okay. So probably, well, I'm gonna have to, if I have to change anything, I'm gonna have to kill the server. All right, so it's not saying it overwrote the source. But this also didn't work. Oh, but if it did that, it would do that in Docker land, not in here. Where are we? We're still in source. Too many files. So we took out, we did a fetch that shouldn't have changed anything. Fetch shouldn't have changed anything. Oh, server checkout. That's what we missed. All right. Build it again. All right, package it again. Okay. Re-own that. Get a potential error. Huh. I swear that regular leadership inheritance was working though. That might be a thing to look into later. Oh, we're gonna miss a bunch of people here. You're gonna be another Eve. Nope, it still fell. Well, I guess I don't know for sure that I'm doing the modified code. Really? Can't find server.cpp? So I've got that there. Inherit. Inherited their property. Mother's leader. Oh, maybe leadership has special exceptions for stuff. Inherit. You have an inherited position. Fittest follower. They're all exiled. Oh, maybe change it to -1. We'll find non-exiled follower. Lowest possible score is 0. Is that true? It used to be... Still waiting marker. No, that is not true. Leader is following no one. I haven't picked an heir to take them. They're following their fittest... Follow their fittest follower. As he is exiled. And because of some of all the conditions, there is a fallback. We do have a direct followers list in this case. So fittest followers. Now you see, that's what it is. They initialize this. So we have a list. We initialize it to one of those people. Now what I'm doing should still, in theory, work. And yet we have ample evidence that it's not working. Okay, I'm done with you. Wait, get element index. Oh, so the index of the player who died. It's not this player, and there is a skip. We haven't found anybody. So the first question is, are we running this code? Second question is, well, there's going to be very, very few players in the server, so it's not, so printing per is not too bad, I don't think. So we have other player, and we have, for this player, so we're going to have an ID. Let's see, as used. Okay, so it's passing itself. And the oldest close relative, oldest person who shares our mother, grandma, great grandma, start with on each step. In skip. Oh, to inherit from skipping ourself? Is that what that is? In skip ID. All right. So. Not skipped. Fit enough or default, and is descendant. All right, so in this, we ought to see some output when inheritance happens now. If it's not, we still have a problem with our build setup. Removing all ownership. Yeah, it's not even... Is it even calling that code? Yeah, it did. It either... Yeah. It didn't even... It's either not... You know, since I can't run... So I'm not sure if I'm running modified code. I can't be for sure. If I'm even doing this. No other owners and in-process inherit. All right, we need to quick compile check here. Where are we doing, considering... Which apparently I misspelled. Consider... compiler should be very mad about that. Configure not found. That's a different error, but we did introduce an error, which seems promising. So are we even calling in inherit here? Are we even triggering this? We have to remove all, we saw remove all ownership. Removing all ownership. Wait, 0 owned. Is that afterwards? Owned positions, not size. Oh, this must have been shut down. Yeah, okay. 1 owned for player 37. Owned positions. Recently owned. Removed owner position pushback. Get map object. Other players. Not equal to other player. Okay, so this is the no other owners check, which there shouldn't be. Let's see, so he's using no other owners is a char. So we know we went through there. Printf, no other owners. I'll print as a character. I'm sure there is a way to print that as an int, but we'll just do easy one. Is that you? Yeah. Because if there were some other owners of that tile, that would be a problem. I don't know why he would ever save that between runs. Because all those people will be dead. What if it starts up again? Oh, configure not found. So did we have to check out to get some of these files to exist? That's a very weird error now. All right, so that included maybe if we didn't do the reset, it would be able to keep changes. But I'm really confused as to why not doing the checkout left us without stuff. Maybe my checkout is just in a weird position. I'm going to have to redo all the debugging. Source, one life. Oh, so you're actually on live server. Local uncommitted changes. Wish I could see this tag, but it's probably one lower. It's probably live server. It's not versioned. So why is configure messed up? Was the reset necessary to fix some file permissions? Untracked files, changes to server. Well, something's wrong with configure. So file permissions is like the only thing I can think of. I see it's pushing pop now, isn't it? Oh, of course, now we've got a checkout down here we have to deal with. Configure not found. Oh, wait, no, we did do a reset now. Could I stash only one file? I guess there's always the brute force method of why don't mess with Git. Or we have to set up a more of a dev-oriented environment. Am I not in this directory? CD one life. Reset hard shouldn't remove the local files. Oh, copy server to server to server. Yeah, that reset must fix like a permission issue on configure. And I might be able to fix this by saying bash configure instead of /. Oops. I mean, I guess we could just reconnect. And this is all completely timed out again. We want approved. And here's our position, and the gate still stands. Okay, so there was just some issue getting that code to actually stick. All right, so that in a very, very simple situation worked. I might be in a slightly less than optimal situation with this setup, but yeah, have a nice nap. Thanks for hanging out. Like, you're going to be a whole new wave. And this baby can't pass ownership and can't have babies. So I can just have more gates. Having multiple gates is actually good. This is not my game. I'm trying to do mods for it. And in particular, I had a gate that showed up way off the map, or a very far distance away. It's like, but then the default arrow will disappear before you can get there. But I've been having a lot of trouble tracking these things, and what I was just dealing with was my local server is not a full server with all of its support services, which was kind of disabling inheritance of the gates at all, which I need to be able to have to test my tracking of them. But yeah, this is the third session working on this bug. Well, last time I found a weird situation with it, and I thought that was it. And then last week, things just got totally crazy. So I need to set up a whole bunch of scenarios to figure out what the heck is going on. And it's spent most of my day just actually getting an environment where I can test this stuff. And now I have to see if I can get it crazy enough scenarios to be get anywhere close. All right, so I think, well, you're just going to be a different person. You might eventually grow up and be useful. But you own this gate, so you're going to have to make a new gate that you own because you can have children. Alright, so that's the baby. That's you. No, I don't actually have very complicated setups here. I guess I could try doing some gates that were farther away. Like this may have been one. Is there already a rock here? There's already a rock here. Actually, that might have been one too. Whoop. So now I own 2. There's a unrelated person. There's one possible heir. I guess we could maybe look if there was another possible heir. How that shows up. There's 2 owned gates. A gate owned by somebody else. And you're an Eve. You're not terribly helpful right now. But you're probably gonna get the other child. Yep. Let's see, you're the baby. Is that because you're standing on it? Or did you actually get ownership by fogging it? Yep, okay. Alright, so it's not multiple inheritance possibilities, but we have a couple of things going on here. Okay, so this person who was the child got a notice to that, owned by you, inherited property, so you seem to have correctly gotten messages for both of them. So whatever craziness, well, maybe what I need to do is check what happens. So now what does these people see? Owned by you, Theresa. I got no notices that popped up. Theresa, okay. I guess what I didn't have here was gates owned that were owned by multiple people. Let's get my other person back in. Just... Oh, another Eve. Okay, so that's... Which means we have 2 different families here. They just aren't old enough to have descendants yet. I guess I could give like random other people gates. Like, what if... I mean, that would give her ownership, but this would be like a split ownership thing. If it's owned but not descendant. Okay, so I did get an update, maybe. Wait. No, okay, yes, that's 2 down here and 1 up there. Okay, so that seems to be okay. Oh, and then there's this thing. Okay, so this is not correct. The own command is not checking for if I own it, and there's 4 owned things down there? That's not right. That's 4 total, there's 3 here. Okay, so own command is messed up. That... I don't have any part in that. Owned by you, owned by you. Not you. Okay. Yes, your Thressa. Okay, so those markers expired. Thressa. So that was, let's see. This was that inherited this already owned. So that was a one of the gates. That was a situation where this one had owned. This one already did have own. Did I print that out? No other owners. One. That person only owned that one gate. Now I need to. Cause the own command is definitely bugged. That's not doing the do I own it check. Is that going to do all owned things for everybody? Yes. I thought it was like this character owned, but I guess maybe I grabbed the wrong thing. Probably wouldn't hurt to have a person in there. Source now. I need to find a mother for you. So that's 4. Who are you? Okay. Now, the code I expected to be working on. So we have the /own command. Owner list size. Yeah, I skipped the. So it's not the server tracks locations owned by player. This is no. Owner info. Oh, no, this is not per player. This is global. I was thinking it was a per player owned locations. Owner list, get element, PID. Player ID of the owner list. Okay, the location has an owner list. Goes through each entry. It is just the ID. And then we say if equals our ID. Then we do that. Let's see. Player 1 was the adult. I don't think owns anything, which I guess that's a valid test because we were getting a bunch of invalid stuff before. Doesn't necessarily explain why things broke before. Okay, so I own nothing. It might have been 3 that owned everything. Owned by you. Okay, so this is the information is not actually sent unless something happens, or unless we look at it. Normally you log in, you wouldn't naturally own anything, and then an inheritance event ought to tell you about it. I don't know how far away it will tell you about it. Teresa. Oh, but I have not looked at ownership of any of these, and then we don't have the one from far away because I haven't gone over there and looked at it yet. Okay, so those are doing much more reasonable things because okay, so that explains why that thing seemed over much. It seemed like the pointers, the inheritance pointers, were really weird too. But I don't have any evidence of that misbehaving here. And I'd essentially have to do some kind of other server modifications to cycle people through fast enough to set up more interesting situations on that. So we've seen some inheritance events work. We fixed the ownership command, which is one of the things I was using to try and debug the other ownership things. Yeah, we wouldn't do any request ownership information on that. Those people probably have long gone extinct. Yeah, that'll probably reset the server since then. I can just kind of, well, let's see. So the person who owns most of the gates doesn't have any heirs yet. I guess I could give them away and then kill that person. So we can do that. Okay, are you in right now? You're 1. Okay, owned by you, owned by you. We saw the ownership updates. And it was you. So these would not inherit because they're owned by multiple people. Although you're now of childbearing age. Okay, so you are now a candidate to inherit those. Let's press again. Now for ya. Alright, you should be able to get reborn as somebody. But you are to this person who... Are you even in right now? Yes. Oh, nope, that's the baby. Wait, you... Yeah, you're the baby. Property gate owned by you. But that is a temporary pointer. Oh, because you probably did own and you owned that. Okay. By FOIA. FOA. FOA is not in right now, so they weren't there to receive the messages. Oops. Owned by you, owned by you. Yeah, that was kind of an oopsie. All right, so this person is not old enough to have any descendants. You have descendants, I guess. So, and you are Twanda, who is in. Okay, so you're there if we need to check any messages. You're a baby. You are the only person. Well, you have a gate. It seems like some of the crazier situations where we got into trouble. But we think we've seen a gate work. We're also not doing actual fitness calculations. We're just kind of skipping them. But we didn't have the bulk receipt of ownership messages last time. So Twanda owns everything. Oh, I can't do that. I might be able to do you. Get everybody else away. So you're 2. That would leave the other gate up north, but I guess that's maybe slightly useful for how things at distance operate. And now we can just say it. All right, so that person actually has heirs. Give an inheritor a position. Oh. I had a relative. Okay. Interesting. Oh, but she still owns the gates just by that. I didn't realize I had a descendant. Okay. Or it was probably a relative, not necessarily a descendant. So that was 3. So you got inherited position, but you don't own any gates. That doesn't matter. So Twanda owns everything and has a descendant. Okay, follow. You inherited property. Right, Lady O'Neill. Huh. And I received messages about all that. Now, I did have the thing where this was blinking for a while. These might be... There could be an issue with these being too long. That's why I started the time on distance here. Am I properly setting distance for these? These are kind of map markers, but they're not triggered by an item. Maybe I just have to set expiration. Uh, also, is it the own command? Well, nobody's able to do search. What the? Oh, because search doesn't exist in this build. That's why. That's fine. So I need to do something with. I need to set expiration when doing this. Get somebody aging up, of course. Now I need a mother. I always do that, then realize I have somebody out. You are... All right, add temp location slip. It has an age. Do I do any place else that we immediately expire that? No. What did I do when reading maps? Oh, we just got a message. Right, because you just received, for there you received the text. Apex map Y. Do I do anything with the type of it? It's expert if in person. Person pointer does not depend on a held map. So XY true. That's family command. XY false, because it's not a person, but we do want it to be temporary. And then this is for when we read a map. Wait, what do you set? Oh, if it's temporary. Now you see this completely disables distance. Oh, but this is also checking for temporary expire ETA 0. Well, the issue is exactly that it wasn't expiring. We need a new type of slip. Yeah, this is really set up for maps. And we also set it up for like the baby notices and stuff. Because it all came through the map mechanism. And I added family command. But you do kind of want to reuse some of the person identification stuff. Am I passing? What's the in-person key for this? It's null. Yeah, that's owned. So both of those are null. In-person key, temp person key. Let's text lead or text sup, then we save it. We don't actually use that text much for this. Right, prop. No, well, it goes into person key, which goes into there. And our temp location slips don't actually deal with that. I think actually we received them as persons because it was a person who died. I guess we could treat these as... Man, no, if it's person ID, it's going to try to track that person. If a person died, that's not a big deal. I guess this is where we check for, rather we could check for, it was like property or something. Or just have target person be us. But doing that sets it up to track position, which is not what we want. So that would have the in-person flag, which would take this. It could actually do that else. So this is treated as a map. saying the expire ETA was set for all of them. It would not give us the distance ping. Well, we could leave that at whatever we set that to standard. Even when setting the expire time. We were experimenting with adding that here to say, okay, well, for all temporary locations, slips we need to expire them now. Oh, does that? But you're true. If it's a person, then we always set the expire because it was not a map. I think this might be the one that ended up owning everything. We're going to have to go in and scan everything. Oh, there's two people here. Guess they're hungry. Okay, so that has temporary distance. I don't have a regular owner slip to it, though. Okay, so distance expired. I think it's in range. But I should have gotten owner message from that, or from examining it. Oh, that was the other issue. The temporary slip overwrote the permanent one when I do that. But I specifically wanted it so I could say, "Oh, hey, where are you?" And these are the ones that give me the arrows. Because slips have been set up to be exclusive for location, that actually removes my permanent slip. So do I need to have an option to so maybe Owen should actually check that we have main slips for all of them and set something so that they do show an arrow? So those are going to be using ancient. Oh, I had a special thing for property. Now that was partly to set the color. So right now we show an arrow. It's not temporary, but I think we show an arrow if it is temporary. That's greater than home expired. Pointer. And temporary. I could probably just go through and make a separate flag for show arrow. Maybe it should be a show arrow ETA so that way we could go through and ping them all. Let's see, you do not have... How do we identify a property slip? We'll go by color. It seems a little cheap. I think temporary actually gets used to determine if we remove it, if we care about the ETA. Could we do an arrow if distance expire ETA is up? Then we could just refresh that. Location slip height offset. Distance expire ETA, or it's temporary and it's equal to 0. That's for, oh, this is for show distance at all. And are you also, see, this is step, which is determining if we do the arrow stuff? Pointer. Not apocalypse, not hidden, temporary, and dist less than 5. And temporary or... dist expire ETA. Location slip, distance expire ETA. How often do I check this? Only twice. That is specifically temporary expired. Yep. Char. Should this be like distance showing? Well, that gets into the range check. Oh, You should have been in to begin with. Okay. Show distance. If it is really high, that would be a pointer condition. Maybe temporary slips shouldn't remove things at the same location. That might have some knock-on effects for places where I just counted on it to update. Yeah, so this is almost like, well, we're referring to it twice here, so I'm not sure that that's actually a good way to do that. Although I guess we could do that into the condition, but that is, well, that's less than time or temporary, and it's blah. So that does a distance check. That has a distance check. This is going to be very much like expired. Expired itself actually goes the other way, though. This would be like reduce stuff if not distance expired. Distance expired? Show near distance. So that's if it's temporary and not equal to 0, and then that. This is temporary. All temporary slips always show. Well, with that. And this is, oh, this is show distance. But this is also the long range check. And we want to have another check. So the pointer, if it's less than 5, well, no, it has to be less than 5. This is an alternative to the temporary condition. Then, I don't have a good way to identify property slips. I guess what I could do is go through my property slips and re-add them as property slips. Which, because of the location things, would just update them. And that way... Is there any situation where we would have ownership information, but we wouldn't have a side slip? And there shouldn't be. This does mean when I have it would actually turn this into going. Well, this is a way to refresh it, I guess. Just in case it needs that. And then you don't have expiration. All right, so this should be nothing, so we don't have any information on it yet. That is bouncy because it's in the near distance range. So what I wanted was to be able to say, okay, if there's a mystery spot, I can get a pointer to it. And those are, that means all newly acquired ones are going to be bouncy, but I can probably deal. Oh, and the fact that, okay, so that probably explains some of the weirdness I had the other day. I did own to try and figure out where they were, and that removed the ones I'd gotten before, so it seemed like things were disappearing. And I couldn't necessarily then... I didn't have those pointers, I had the temporary pointers, which were still seeming pretty weird. But the own command was pinging everything owned by anybody. So I was like, what the heck, I'm following dead ends that aren't actually owned by me. So that might be enough to explain what I was seeing. All right, get status should just be changes to there. We tweak the show distance, we tweak the indentation, which I'm pretty sure is still in that same patch. I guess STG show would show the current patch. Let's define that bit of code. Or I could go to the actual patch file. Yes, that was part of this. And then we see if everything else applies on top of it. Okay, that's all good. Well, technically there's a compile check on top of that. So that's the bug. Still don't know my other search broke. We think we've tracked all that stuff down. Don't get those very often. Expert stones. I don't think I've tested that. I could have just ran that. We're kind of in the middle of the map. We have, yeah, the stuff we're near is not the people that are near. If indeed expert stones even work. So we've got top band and bottom band right now. I'm not actually sure. Let's see. Actually, so if we're near jungle, I'll put us slightly closer to the bottom. I'm not sure if that works when in a low pop scenario. Because you don't need experts. And I don't have pointers to anything here. Yeah, no fam. And can't find any special stuff. Wow. Okay, still jungle. There's some desert. That's probably gonna be a jungle stone. Unless we're like right over the edge. Yeah, those are just over the edge. And then the desert runs out. Nope. Probably does nothing because low pop. I used to at least get the pointer. Of course, there's also no homelands. We're at homeland distance. And of course, this is VOG player, so I can't like go spawn in a bell or anything. I might just have to die and respawn with you. Because all my that's gate testing, but still the convenient test location. Although I could probably cheat a little bit. Yep. Shoot. Okay, we just like selected something, I guess. 98 negative 144. Now I find all the mountains. Oh, I've actually gotten positive, I think. Okay, there's all that stuff. Oh, did I just shut down the server unceremoniously at some point? Because I'd expect there to be at least bodies here. All right, so I can't check experts now. That'll have to be a live thing. I want to just pay attention to speech and dings and things as far as overall level. Oh, well, there's the homeland messages. Of course, I'm going to have to do some server settings for that. If I, yeah, I think it might look like standard speech, so I'm not sure it's something we can easily block. So one interesting thing that came up is that small roads around, around farms and things are frustrating. Because you tend to run more than you want, and like most of the time I am in my auto run mode. But I could set it up so that if we're not running, we don't run on roads. Maybe as an option. That's like an old patch. And actually that does get a little bit hairy because it's so old. It doesn't actually necessarily interact with the keys. I guess you set up auto run so only if you're running. I can't test out the run versus walk keys with it. So there, this code gets a little bit wide. So what do we got? This is various things that are precursors. Is any of this affecting run? Current speed not equal to 0, path to dest. Speed to grid, overshooting next step, last segment. Current path step, less than path step, length -2, which means we're not near the end. So we are near the end, and maybe we need to extend. Oh, did I? What's actually what all did I do here? So should move camera is a factor. I guess only in auto running. And then the hold down mouse stuff. This is double click trigger. What's the... yeah, that's the virtual. So that says if we're auto running... Where are you? Okay, this is just the if we're on road. If run, which is held or auto run. So you're still in step. Straight line continue of road. Auto click there, but don't hold. Okay. You're an if else. That's an is same road, which is that part of the stuff we were looking at here. There's is same road. If road. Must descend. If run. Else if road. So do I just remove this? If we're running, okay, so run is auto run or mouse held. This is if not holding mouse. Oh, now you see, this was kind of the original game's auto run. Oh, I may have had to disable this to make it stay on the road. So if run, go to the pointer. If road, follow the road. Reach destination, check for auto walk on road. Same road class. Previous step, final step. IPIF. Oh, final floor. Final step of the floor. If those are the same road class, then it's a road, and next message to send. If it's an auto running distance. And if we're on a road, we're not going to run, because running goes to the pointer no matter what. So run is mouse held or auto run. This is saying only if not held, which gives us kind of default behavior, I guess. I want to say we only, if we're in auto run mode and we're on a road, follow the road. If we're not in any kind of auto run mode, never consider if we're on a road. this is saying if not mouse held. I might just make this if not run, and then if run equals false is irrelevant. No, this is saying if run, which is basically comes down to auto run. And then I have to set up my test environment. Actually, I should probably do something beforehand to establish current behavior. I haven't not recompiled yet. We should be looking at the same thing. Right. Oh, you're back. That's interesting. Not for long. So not used to these controls. Okay. Where can we set up? I mean, I guess I could pretty much just do whatever. It's gonna be like. Is it a paver mark or a road mark? No. Paving direction. Let's see. That's. I could probably wind my way through there because having some winds is going to be good for testing direction handling. All right, and where do we end up here? All right, and then let's see. I think I actually have to still, still clear something there. Running paver. The default is west, right? Was north. Oh, does it actually have to stop somewhere? Oh, okay, so that didn't have a turn. Oh. So it stopped, but I can't interact with it. That's interesting. Oh, I probably have locked interact? No. Well, it's kind of noisy. And the bay leaf works too. Now just, how do I get out of this box? That's interesting, because it seemed like it was so easy to interrupt. Alright, so that was just a regular click. And we run. If we auto-run... Yeah, it's also ignoring that. I'm gonna be dead here soon, but... So we think the behavior we want... is to only follow roads if we are in auto-run mode. Okay, that's auto-run. Standard click, which should be the same as... And this maybe should be an option. And you just click to get out. Should that be an option? It would break run on road behavior if you weren't running. We've still got kind of got it here. Where was reach destination? Did I copy some code from somewhere? Maybe. Yeah, okay, so that's in here. So there's not really any parallel of that in the original code. This is, I must have copied this from somewhere else. Perhaps I have to back out of this patch to look at it. Oh, actually, maybe it's down here. Okay. If road. Okay, so this was a little pre-check where there's very similar code down there. To determine if we should follow our pointer or follow the road. And it might, well, yeah, we still have to know, it might have simplified the logic to say if we're auto running, we're always doing that. I mean, this is actually going to be kind of implicitly true now. Oh no, because it's auto run. Auto run is there. I was going to say, okay, we're on a road, so don't run. It just kind of becomes if road. Oh, this is probably the mouse hold code. So mouse hold would not do the pre-check, and it would run. But now we're saying it has to be an auto run. So that breaks a base game feature if you don't have or don't use auto run. What do you even call that flag? Walk-on roads? Well, I guess it would be like follow roads only while running. This is kind of effectively the min mouse down frames, double click. Okay, so mouse held, auto run. Disable, double click to run. You can't run twice in one frame. So that's the only setting related to this thing. Huh, this is kind of different from, or different placement than a lot of my other patches ended up. Maybe it was trying to go near the mouse stuff. That's double click, auto run. Frame sense, mouse down, frames, mouse down, last screen, previous mouse. That's all kind of like runtime state stuff. That's min mouse down. Max double click drift. So this thing is actually a setting. Hmm. Follow roads. And most defaults are still set to like how I would actually configure it. All right, and then that behavior goes down to the run equals. If mouse hold and so this would be equals 0, or if it is disabled, putting us into standard mode, or we are currently auto-running. All right, still standard controls. We got up here. We're in one life, build. Kind of only need the one copy of it now. Just some Boolean setting. I think that's what we did. Follow roads only while running. Actually, 0 is in fact the value that would be different here. Okay, so that was a standard walk. It should not interfere with the auto running of it. Okay, switch flips back. Game source settings. All right, so vanilla. Right, at this point we have very few settings in here. You are going to be 0. Oh. And that generally assumes that we have. Actually, should it be that if our double click is down, so it's impossible, and it's disabled, I'll take care of the vanilla situation. We're not somebody using a Should that just be the switch? So we just check to see if auto runs on. That would take care of the vanilla scenario. It would still disable a feature in the just and more configuration. I am considering this to be a benefit. A feature of that. Oh, we have the direct flag. If you disabled auto run, max double click frames was in fact the setting that would impact that. Max double click frames. So this is not be an and. This would be and is greater than 0. It's not relevant otherwise. Compile check. What are we doing? All right, we were setting up these things. So this is vanilla. So fine, we have two settings. You've got a setting file. You've got a setting file. All right, now we have to add this, which we wouldn't have, because if it was just changed files, it would accept it. We've added some stuff. Okay. Maybe, oh, this is probably where I didn't have all the other settings here because I hadn't developed them yet. Hopefully that'll be the only conflict. Quick compile check. Oh, we must have had another conflict up here. Diffs are handy, but they're They don't actually express intent. All right, and what the heck state are we in? Okay, I started writing some stuff up, but I've not exported anything yet. Da, 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 da. That might actually be hard to get going on some of the smaller, like little mini racetrack things. So that also needs documentation updates. And well, there's README patch. Well, this is where having the multiple documents is going to kind of stink. Okay, so that's the README. Shadowrun's already kind of... All right, so feature-wise, we never do that differently than Vanilla Plus. So it's fine. Follow roads while running, making it easier to making slipping onto da, 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 da. And we also have oh. Yeah, that really should have been studying. This is one of the first ones I did. And this one should be pretty much the same as patches. Oh, the formatting is a little bit different, though. Not that this would be bad formatting to do it here as well. I guess that is sort of a feature. a little bit tighter than I wanted. All right, we still have to do actual in-game testing on this, see if it actually feels good and everything. To see, well, the locate, and it's now gotten a little tied up with location slip stuff, which are going to want to see an actual inheritance event to be able to say it worked right. And there could generally be more tweaking there. Where are we? Get status, no. We are here. I need a build for me to test with. And then it's lunchtime. Thanks for watching. Thanks to Munglo for bringing friends. Let's see. There we go. What do we got going on? Okay, we got 2 people doing One Life stuff. That's what I'm usually on. Any other coding going on? There's some Godots. That's, I believe that's primarily used for game stuff. Map editor. I know we did that recently. All right, so there's somebody working on Godot. Last time I was there, that's some pretty loud music. Other than that, it seemed like they were programming and talking through their stuff. If you're looking to say it's cool to hang out, Gentleman Dapper is soft starting Godot projects. I don't know if he's like trying out a bunch of stuff or only working on one or what. But it's someplace cool to hang out. Thanks for hanging out with me. Goodbye and until next time.